I would like to invite you for the very first time.
It's an interesting combo of art and plants all in the same space.
At Art Lounge Manila on August 7 for Plantitos y Plantitas, which is brought to you by Art Lounge Manila and Arid and Aroids.
All right, good afternoon, everyone, and it is another session of our live stream with the artists of Plantitos y Plantitas. Yesterday, we had Melissa Yung Yap and Christine Lim, certified Plantitas, who shared a lot about their passion about art and nature and how nature inspired them to create the wonderful pieces that they have on display at the Plantitos y Plantitas exhibit at the podium right now. So if you have a chance to drop by, I highly encourage you and everyone invite your friends to do so as well. And so today it's another session of Plantitos y Plantitas, and we were supposed to have Mr. Carlo Magno with us today, but unfortunately he was not able to make it. So without further ado, let me introduce our guest for today. Let's bring him into the room. May we invite Sir Dindon Cordova? So, Mr. Cordova was born on December, may birthday pa, December 4, huwag na natin laging year, and graduated with a degree in Fine Arts at the University of Santo Tomas. He is the Philippines' foremost botanical painter. His interest in natural subjects began when he was commissioned to paint a mural of roses. This led him to numerous travels and painting exhibitions in different institutions, local and international. His works were included in the Southeast Asian Christie's and Sotheby's auctions, and he is well known for his superb large murals, as we will see an example of today. So really excited to have you here, sir. I guess hindi na po namin kayo kailangang tanungin kung certified plantito kayo, sir. Hi, Sir Dindon. Good afternoon po.
Yes.
Kumusta po kayo?
Good afternoon to everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to be here.
Okay. Thank you po, sir, for being here. Thank you for taking the time out of, I know you have a busy schedule, but thank you for being here with us today po. And we are super excited. I am super excited, as I know our audience is excited to hear more from you about your artwork and what got you into plants, since you are the foremost botanical. Buti na lang po nakuha namin kayo for this exhibit. We are so blessed to have you as part of this show po, sir. So, but before we begin, just as a little treat po for our audience, we have a little game for them. It's called, syempre po kayo certified plantito na po kayo. But for our audience, pwede nyo po silang guluhin. So it'll be a tiny quiz thing. So pwede nyo po silang guluhin. Don't give them the right answer. And so it's just 3 questions like it was yesterday, guys. So the game is called, are you a certified plantito or plantita? So you have to type the answers to all 3 questions in one comment in the comment section below, and you can get a chance to win a charcuterie box from Art Lounge Manila. The winner of this game will be announced at the end of this live stream, and somebody will be contacting you to coordinate on how you can get your prize. So, are you ready? Let's do this. Okay, so the first question, since yesterday it was more about plants, today the theme is flowers naman. So the first question is, what plant was featured in Claude Monet's famous work? Was it water lilies or calla lilies? A is water lilies and B is calla lily. Ayan. Sir, ano pong panggulo natin? So, siyempre, hindi ko na kailangan, hindi ko pa sabihin. Sampagita, oo nga. Parang kasi di ba yung strokes dun, parang ayan. Okay, so I hope you guys took down notes of your question. Sir, ano po yan? Ayan, okay.
Pareho.
Let's do pareho. Oo nga, lahat sila pala nandun. So, mali pala yung, yung pagbasa ko. Anyway, the next question. Vincent van Gogh is quoted to have said, "The blank is mine," referring to the flower that he famously painted. Blank, was it A, rose, the rose is mine? Or was it B, the sunflower is mine? Yan, you have 5 seconds to answer this. Yan. All right, and before we get to the last question, mahirap po, no? Kasi marami siyang pinit na flowers. Nang paulit-ulit. Ayan, okay. So, let me read a quote from Georgia O'Keeffe. She said of her artworks, when you take a flower in your hand and really look at it, it is your world for the moment. And she said that she wants to give that world to someone else. And that's the reason why she created those almost macro views of various flowers. That's what she wanted to say. She wanted to present people with that world within those flowers. So, anong tanong doon? Ito yung tanong. All right. So, what flower is this in this particular artwork that was painted by Georgia O'Keeffe? So, what flower is this? Is this an iris or an orchid? Only the certified Plantitos and Plantitas would be able to tell the difference because I cannot. I'm trying to be a Plantito but I cannot tell the difference. Kayo po, sir. Ano po sa tingin nyo, sir?
Well, definitely hindi ko alam.
Ayan. Okay, so that concludes our quick
Parang
game. Para Ayan. So,
Pahawig kasi yan.
yeah. Oo nga eh. Bakit ba ganun? Actually, a lot of the, even lalo na yung mga leafy greens, mga arids and aroids, they all look super similar. Naduduling ako parang, ito ba to? Or ito? Parang magkaiba sila pero magkamukha sila. So yeah, pero super interesting. Only a very trained eye would really be able to tell the difference. And I'm sure, sir, since kayo marami po kayong experience with mga botanical paintings and painting all these plants and nature, alam, siguro po kayo, you would be able to tell the difference. Pero ako po, hindi. Alright, so without further ado, let us begin. Ready na po ba kayo, sir?
Yes.
Alright. Okay. So, tatanungin ko pa rin siya kahit hindi na. Parang, okay, so, since obviously po, certified plantito kayo, why do you consider yourself a certified plantito?
Well, because first of all, I need it for it is the subject for my paintings. The plants are my subjects for my painting. So I've been collecting plants for about 30 years, and well, that is the gauge for being a plantito.
Mm-hmm. Na-mention ko po kanina while we were introducing you na you are, of course, the foremost botanical painter in the Philippines. Actually, I don't know of many others who are into the same specific subject matter as you. Can you tell us a little bit more about how you got into being a botanical painter?
Well, I started because one time the uncle of my friend commissioned me to do a painting of murals. That's what you said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Mural of roses. And then from then on, I became more confident with myself and comfortable with the subject. So I started researching, collecting, and buying plants to use them as my subject for my paintings.
Okay. So since you also mentioned that you've been collecting plants for over 30 years, which came first po, the plant collecting or getting into painting botanicals?
Getting into painting. Into painting, okay. Which I first refused because I wasn't really, I love painting human figures.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, because I took up fine arts in advertising. So karamihan dyan ang subject, human figures. So nung pinapagawa sa akin yung roses, parang sabi ko, parang mahirapan ako. But then I tried. He said, you have to try. So I tried it and madali naman. And well, not madali. It's medyo mahirap. But then parang naging komportable nga. Nagtahan din ako dun sa subject. So tinuloy-tuloy ko na. And then eventually marami nang nagpapa-commission ng plants. So na ako dun. Dun na talaga ako naka-focus na yung sarili ko na yun ang gagawin kong subject sa paintings ko.
So, bale,
yeah. I enjoy the love doing the paintings.
Yeah, so na-enjoy nyo at first medyo hesitant kayo, tapos na-enjoy nyo na siya. And then of course, when you enjoy what you're doing, people will respond to your enjoyment of that work, and in turn, they will want a part of that joy that you've captured in your painting for themselves. Which is why I'm sure marami pong gustong magpa-commission ng mga botanicals from you, sir.
But then also, I should say that there are lots of botanical paintings now. I mean, botanical artists now, ang dami na. Kaya, saying that I'm maybe foremost, one of the foremost, but that's what they say. Hindi ko naman ano.
Sinelda po yung nagsabi nun, so tanggapin na po natin, sir. It's official, guys, okay? On this day, August 25th, it's official on social media.
Ang dami kasi sa National Museum, marami ring mga botanical artists dyan.
Oh yeah, of course. Meron po silang entire section doon. I haven't been recently, pero...
I mean the Museum of Natural History.
Yes.
Diba?
Yes po, ang dami. Super ganda din i-observe ng mga ano doon. Pero you present botanicals in such a contemporary manner po na it's surprising and it's highly enjoyable. I really enjoyed your work. Nung una ko siya nakita, parang, whoa, this is different. This is interesting. Parang, yes, it shows subject matter that you would see anywhere, pero the way you presented it po makes me feel like I want to hang it on my wall. Kaya lang hindi ko siya afford.
So, when your mom invited me kasi, parang naisip ko when your mom invited me to join the show, since it's Plantito, Plantita, so I thought of making a composition that will suit the theme.
Super interesting po kasi aside from being purely representational, your work has a narrative po. Okay, so before we get into the next question, let's show that artwork that we are talking about para makarelate naman ng ating online audience. Ayan, so hindi na ako makikita muna. So this is your artwork po entitled Ang Tagapagsaliksik or The Researcher. So, so it's slightly different from all the other artworks where it's just representing a particular plant or a particular composition of plants. Ano po yung story behind this researcher? Parang na-curious po ako.
Kasi me myself is a researcher. And then the person in that man in the painting, who is my nephew, he's representing the Plantitos and myself also, because when I do a painting, before I do a painting, I go on research and searching also for plants that I can incorporate in the painting itself. But as I do the painting, may mga pumapasok ng mga bagong ideas. So parang sa una hindi pa kumpleto. Alam ko lang yung may composition akong naisip. And then hanggang sa huli, meron akong dinadagdag. Actually, I started with a human figure and the staghorn only. And then parang sabi ko, parang gusto ko dagdagan.
Tapos nabuo na siya.
Then nabuo na yan.
Wow. Okay. So, you mentioned po that you are a researcher. Is that purely for your art or do you do that in a professional capacity? Tagapagsaliksik po ba talaga tayo?
Not professional, but siguro for my art. And also, pag minsan kasi may mga nagtatanong sa akin, anong plant ito? Minsan nagiging curious ako. They send me photographs and then ako na naghahanap tuloy, like in Facebook, tatanong, ano kayang plant ito? So yun, papadala ko sa kanila yung research ko. And then I tell them things like kung poisonous or kung pwede siyang sa mainit or sa maaraw or sa shaded area. Kaya parang research na rin. I want to learn more about the characteristic of the plant.
So you don't just approach plants purely based on aesthetics. You also want to learn about the characteristics and like yung care and yung natural habitat ng plants na mga pinipaint nyo. So hindi lang siya purely representation, may story talaga behind each plant that you put in your artwork.
Yes, that is why yung ano, 'di ba, yung human figure, he's stepping on a parang moss
Mm-hmm.
in the shape of an island.
Oh, okay.
You didn't notice it, but it's like that. It's like an island, and then the moss, yung merong mga Venus flytrap, because usually yung Venus
Ayun.
flytrap ano yan eh. Pang ano yan eh, yung place na moist.
So mossy areas nga. Ay, hindi ko
Mossy
na-notice may Venus flytrap pala dun.
Yes, may Venus flytrap and
Sa lower right corner for those
yes.
who did not see it either. Medyo maliit, pero yan, lapit kayo sa screen nyo, makikita nyo yan. So is this any particular island, yung moss po, or basta representing an island lang po siya?
Representing an island lang. Kasi di ba, pag nag-research ka or if you're looking for plants, kung saan ka nakakarating. So parang inisip ko, parang make it in the shape of an island.
Parang to represent where these plants are, endemic?
The habitat.
Yung natural habitat ng plants na to.
Habitat.
Ayan, wow! Wow! Guys, you learn something new every day. Super interesting po. Thank you for that insight. Super galing. Ayan, okay, so let's move on to the next question. Since I guess na, what particular, so still talking about this artwork, pero tatanggalin ko na siya. What particular thing about this artwork that you've entered into the exhibit Plantitos y Plantitas did you enjoy making the most, and why?
It's actually thinking of the composition. That's what I enjoyed most. Parang medyo challenge din, but still it's fun to be searching for plants and kung paano mo i-compose to. And then the execution, of course.
So, ganun po ba yung process niyo, sir? You don't start with a fully formed idea. You start with thinking about the composition and how you want things to be arranged, and then you work outward from there. Can you explain about your creative process a little bit more, sir? I'm sure our audience will be very interested in learning more about that.
Actually, I sometimes do make studies, small studies. So that pag ginawa na yung final artwork, medyo may idea na ako kung ano yung magiging itsura niya. Pero as I go along doing the painting, minsan may naisip ako na idagdag or alisin. Even with people who commission me, that's what I do.
So of course it's not super straightforward na ito ipipainting ko, ito yung lalabas. It's still a very dynamic and organic process. Much like how it happens in nature. I'm sure it's like a very natural process din po for you. Ooh, speaking of those studies, may study po ba ito? Pwede bang, baka yun kaya kong bilhin?
Actually, yung figure may study.
Uy.
But then somebody...
I know na, hanap ko.
Like, my birthday.
Okay.
But I did that a long time ago. But actually, I did that a long time ago. The study.
Okay po. Okay po. Nagbabaka
it's just the figure and the star form.
Ayun, wow, sayang. I'm sure that must have been super nice. Happy birthday to that person who received that on their birthday. I'm so happy for you. I'm envious but happy for you.
It's only a sketch.
Yeah. Pero still, I'm sure, sir, super natuwa sila nung binigay niya yun.
Yeah.
All right. Ayan. Okay, and then moving on to our final question. Ayan, ito medyo magpapakalalim po tayo ng konti. I hope our audience doesn't mind. Hi, guys. How are you guys over there doing? Is everybody still... Ayun na, may nag-answer na naman. Anyway, sir. Ayan. Hi, everybody. So, sir, why do you think it's important, especially in times like now, to turn to nature and plants and art? Like, syempre, there's the pandemic. There's a lot of people who are socially isolated. So why do you think nature and plants and art are important in times like these?
You know, the subject of plants makes us more... It's very peaceful, very light. So, parang in these times of turmoil around us, it's best to do something that will make us serene and calm. para naman, syempre, mas makalimutan natin. Well, like me, when I do the artwork, medyo nakakalimutan ko yung mga problems around us. And it's also, it's like a therapy. It's therapeutic.
That's so true. Kaya nga, lalo na ngayong pandemic times, biglang dumami ng dumami ang mga plantitos and plantitas out there. I tried to be, meron akong nakatanim ngayon sa windowsill ko. Ilang araw na siya doon, wala pa nangyayari. I think it is dead. But yeah, so kulang lang siguro ng dilig or wala masyadong araw ngayon eh. But thank you so much for sharing your insights.
You're welcome and enjoyed it.
And thank you for giving us a deeper look into your artwork and your process. Ang dami niyo pong na-share na super parang it gives me more appreciation for your artwork po, sir. So super thank you for being with us and thank you for sharing your insights with our audience this afternoon. Would you like to say something? May final message po ba kayo sa ating mga audience natin?
Well, thank you for inviting me for the show, and I hope na matapos na yung pandemic. Kasi, so that people can see also what we prepared for them. Diba? And thank you to your mom, to Suzanne, to Ricky, and to everyone who made this possible.
Okay, thank you so much po, sir. Thank you for joining us once again this afternoon po. We really appreciate your time, sir. Thank you po.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. All right. So everyone, that concludes our live interview with Sir Dindon Cordova for our live stream for Plantitos y Plantitas. Once again, the show is already on display at the podium at Art Lounge Manila. So if you have time, please visit. Please don't forget to invite your friends and try to visit when it's safe for you. Remember, we want you to see the exhibit, but as much as possible, we still also want you to stay safe. And of course, please like, share, and follow us on FB and IG at Art Lounge Manila. Right. And then, do we have our winners? Do we have our winners already? Let me check. Dun. So, the answer for the first question is Claude Monet is famous for painting water lilies. So, the answer is letter A. And the answer for what Vincent van Gogh said that is his is sunflower. So the sunflower is his, referring to his artwork of the sunflowers, of his several artworks that are of sunflowers. And the third flower is, what flower is this that was painted by Georgia O'Keeffe? So this is the painting called Light Iris. So this is a painting of an iris and not an orchid. But honestly, I thought it was an orchid as well. But yeah, so we have a winner. And actually, we have two winners. The first... disqualified daw yung first na nag-participate. Hi, Ricky. You were the first person to get the answer correct. Pero since part ka ng Art Lounge Manila, unfortunately, you are disqualified. So, the winner is... Dun. Virtual drum roll, please. Ay, sino na? Nasaan na? Who is our... okay. Wow! Okay, so our winner is Christina Crespo. Hey! Hi, Kay! So congratulations on winning a gift from us. Yeah, so somebody will be contacting you after this live stream to facilitate on how you can get your box. And of course, we want to mention that yes, the artworks are already on display, but since we've been mentioning that this is a collaboration between Arids and Aroids, we'd like to give a shout out to Sir Boyet of Arids and Arids, whom we collaborated with in this exhibit to have live plants displayed alongside the artworks. But unfortunately, right now, the plants are not yet installed. They will be installed when we are allowed to have our live opening already. So yeah, we are so looking forward to that because they have so much interesting things planned, mind-blowing things planned for how they're going to set this exhibit up. It's really something to look forward to, and I hope you guys can join us for that as well. So yeah, thank you everyone so much for joining us this afternoon, and I hope you can join us again tomorrow, same place but different time. We will announce early tomorrow. It will be at 3 p.m. again tomorrow. Yeah, it'll be at 3 p.m. again tomorrow, same place. So we hope you can join us again then. And if you enjoyed your time here today, we hope you invite more people to join us for these live interviews. Once again, in behalf of Art Lounge Manila, I am Sindel Tiausas, and thank you so much for joining us this afternoon, and God bless you all.
I would like to invite you for the very first time.
It's an interesting combo of art and plants all in the same space.
At Art Lounge Manila on August 7 for Plantitos y Plantitas, which is brought to you by Art Lounge Manila and Arid and Aroids.
Yeah.